Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the Accent Training Podcast. My name is Pat. I'm your personal American accent coach. And today's lesson is going to change the way that you hear the American accent from now until the last day that you spend on this planet. This is the sound I, as in the words this, Phil, Will, Patrick, like my name, Patrick, This sound doesn't exist in Spanish. It doesn't exist in Mandarin or the many languages around India. It isn't used in Italian. And it's kind of used in Russian and Ukrainian, actually, but they use it to a different quality from American English speakers. So I'm going to make a great episode here for you to learn to adapt and listen for and use this sound to level the playing field with your spoken English between you and American English speakers. This is going to take your disadvantage of being a non-native speaker and turn it into a strength that you'll use to thrive for the rest of your life. So let me tell you about this sound. It's called the short I. There's a minimal difference between short I and E sounds. And it's all about the pressure that you make between the back of your tongue and your top teeth. Try something quickly with me here. Make the sound E. Now focus on what your mouth position is in this sound. Your teeth are close together. The tip of your tongue is low down, kind of out of the way, and the back of your tongue is up and pressed against your top teeth. Focus on that position for a moment and say that sound back to me. E. Now that sound exists in most languages. That means it's an English-speaking strength of yours. It's one of your strong points. You want to use that to build upon it because you're already familiar with it. It exists in English, and other sounds use that position as well. You just got to know what to do. Now, here's where we build upon this. We're going to use that same position, but we're going to now take away the pressure from your tongue. So your teeth are close together. The tip of your tongue is down, out of the way, and the back of your tongue is resting between your teeth. If we don't make pressure against your top teeth, we will now get the sound Try making that sound back to me. Now let's compare the two. First with lots of pressure. E. Lots of pressure between your tongue and teeth. And now stop making pressure between your tongue and your teeth. One more time. E. Lots of pressure. No pressure. So now you can hear the difference, right? Your teeth are remaining close together. Very important detail. The back of your tongue is between your teeth. For the first one, we go very strong in the sound. E. And for the second, we just relax the back of your tongue a little. Now, I want you to start getting a feel for this. That's what has to happen if you want your muscles to improve how they distinguish the two sounds, E and I. So repeat some minimal pairs after me to support that development and make A 1% change in your spoken English towards perfection. Keys. Lots of pressure between your tongue and teeth. Kiss. Pressure gets relieved. Again, with lots of pressure. These. And let the back of your tongue relax. This. New word, lots of pressure. Deed. And then relaxed. Did. One more for you now. Wheel. And then relaxed position. Will. So now you're feeling that difference. It's becoming clearer for you. I've got one more little exercise for you here in today's episode. I want you to start becoming familiar with this sound, distinguishing it from others. You see, part of the development here is your muscles develop, but also your ears develop. We also have to make sure that your hearing improves. So I want you to listen closely and identify which words have the I sound. Number 1. Sleep in. In has the I sound. That is correct. Sleep has an E sound. I live there. Live has the I sound. I'm not saying leave. Leave. I'm saying live. I live there. Number 3. Let's begin. Let's hear that one again. Let's begin. Begin has the I sound. And I got one more for you here. A little issue. We have a little issue. The words little and issue both have I sounds, and if you heard that yourself, a little issue. If you hear the I sound, and you're not hearing a little issue, but you're hearing a little issue, then number 1, that means that you have excellent hearing, and number 2, your brain has just been introduced to a new sound in English. Now here's the thing. Now your brain's introduced to it. Your muscles have some idea of what to do. And maybe you've been working on your power of voice. You've been projecting your voice nice and clearly. You're hearing and repeating a nice, clear I sound consistently. And you'd like to take it up a notch. You now think, Pat, this is good. This is good, but what can I do to make it even better? Well, my friend, the first thing that you can do is listen to an American or Canadian like me, English speaker, and try to catch specific words using the I sound. Don't try to catch all the I sounds. If you do, you may see some success, but it'll be distracting from what you're actually watching. And you won't follow the full conversation. But if you identify some common words while Americans are speaking, you'll start to build a habit of using those words yourself. So let me tell you 6 of the most common and most useful short I words to adapt this sound to your spoken English naturally. This, his, in, issue, little, since. I'll say that one more time. This, his, in, issue, little, since. Write those 6 words down, and then I mean, I recommend listening to another accent training podcast episode. I mean, there's so much for you to listen for. There's so much for you to work with. Why go to some other random podcast? You're already listening to the guy that's going to help get the job done. But if you have been listening to accent training all day long and you're like, look, Pat, chill. I want to watch House of Cards. I want to watch Suits. Maybe you want to watch a Disney movie. Notice, Disney. That's all right. Go ahead and watch it as long as the majority of the cast are speaking with American accents, because you're doing it for accent training purposes. You want to listen to something where they're using that sound so that you can develop it. So listen for those 6 words. This, his, in, issue, little, since. That's my homework for you. Whatever your language is, I don't care. The fact is, this sound probably doesn't exist in it. Here's an adaptation that you can make to have better control over how others listen to your words. That's empowering. That's going to make you a stronger person. That's going to make you a better communicator. So that's your first piece of homework. It's the first thing I've got for you, my friend. The next thing I've got is another episode coming your way. That's right. I've got another accent training podcast episode coming your way where we're going to turn the heat up a little bit on this sound. We are going to refine it like a blacksmith, beating away at a sword for days and weeks, making the blade perfect and sharp to cut down its enemies. Together, you and I are going to make this sound into a polished katana by the time we finish working together. So after you've taken a little bit of time, you've listened to the sound, maybe you've repeated this episode once or twice to do the muscle memory exercises, I would highly advise that. I invite you to patiently wait for part 2, where we will refine this sound and make it more natural and versatile for you. You want to use this on your next conference call, most likely, right? Conference call. Going to need it there. Maybe when you're speaking with a client, not a client, but client. If you refine it, I guarantee you'll be able to make that sound. Or if you're just communicating while you're traveling internationally. There's so many places that you could visit where this sound would give you an advantage. You follow me? So keep an eye out for that next accent training podcast episode if you want to master the sound. And if you're watching this in the future, I mean, right now it's only January 19th, 2024. And if you're listening to this and there's already, 300 plus episodes out, 250 episodes, then don't worry about it. Just click right ahead, go right on to that sound. I'll see you there. Have a good one, my friend.